Hi, sir. Hintay lang po natin baka may iba pa pong mag-join.
Nakamute ka po, Ate Sandra.
Hi, JV.
Afternoon.
Hindi
Ayan.
raw makapasok lang si Conde.
Ay, wala pa pong prompt. Pero okay na po tayo sa Senate Live, FYI po. Mag-queue ka na lang, Ate Sandra, if you're ready to start. Para we can start the live stream also. Thank you.
Sige po, sir. We'll just share the video with the others. JV, start na natin, no?
Yes, ma'am. Ongoing na po yung stream. Thank you.
Ayan. Attorney Tonggol, yan po. Good afternoon. We'll just ask for some updates dahil po magpapatuloy na po yung impeachment trial tomorrow. Ano po yung pwedeng asahan bukas? Go ahead, sir.
Parang hindi naririnig si Attorney Tongol.
Yes.
Yes, no audio, attorney.
Attorney, can you start
JB?
from the top of your answer to Sandra?
Ayan pala. Yan. Oh, yan. Hello. Yan. Narinig niyo na ako.
Okay
Go
na po.
ahead, sir.
Ayan. So, tomorrow mag-uumpisa tayo ng umaga na ang morning sessions ng impeachment court. So, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. ang nakaschedule and possibly there will be a 1-hour break for lunch time. Hindi naman hard and fast rule yung 1 hour. It can be shorter. Pwedeng 30 to 40 minutes depending on the agenda and then the witnesses to be presented. Now, tomorrow, nakasalang yung dalawang House prosecution witness na taga Land Bank para to present the case for Article 1. So may mga dala rin silang mga dokumento, yung mga cheque na pinasampina doon sa STECOM sa korte at yun yung ina-expect natin na mangyayari tomorrow. Siguro yung first witness will be in the morning and then the cross and the redirect and then the recross will happen in the morning and then the second witness, ganun din mangyayari naman sa hapon.
And you mentioned, sir, na actually nag-send na po sila ng some documentary evidence on this. Can you tell us more about it?
These are the land bank checks that tries to prove, no, nakalagay dun sa pre-trial brief ng House Prosecution Panel, the outflow of the money involved in the first article.
Thank you, sir. Baka po may iba pang magtatanong.
Miss Babylin po.
Hi, good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, ma'am baby.
Yeah. As I have asked you a bit earlier, hindi po ba babaguhin yung pangalan ni DP doon sa information sa case? Because as we had covered the Department of Justice and even the Supreme Court, Pag
Mhm.
may technicality sa age or sa pangalan,
Mhm.
kahit na guilty ang or walang kasalanan yung na accused, nasa
Mhm.
set aside or nababasura yung case. Because
Oo.
as we know, she's married to Mr. Carpio. So,
Yeah.
ang nakalagay po sa information is Madam Zimmerman Duterte. The Carpio is not included. Will that be amended?
So far po, we already brought your concern to the attention of the presiding officer and the clerk of court. So it is now under advisement. They are still researching about it. So tingnan po muna natin kung ano yung possible legal effects tsaka possible action po nung clerk of court regarding the matter. Kung ano po yung advice niya sa ating presiding officer. So, but that's already under advisement po.
Thank you so much, Attorney Tonga. Can we just have kahit na isang example lang ng legal implication just in case?
As a lawyer po, no, I'm just saying this in a general context without necessarily applying the matter to the impeachment proceedings because it is sui generis. Usually po, sa first day po ng arraignment sa criminal cases or even sa civil cases, pero usually sa criminal cases, no, pinapaproduce po ng ID yung ating yung nasasakdal para makita po kung tama po yung nakalagay sa information. And then pag medyo may error po sa information, magkakaroon lamang po ng formal amendment. Mag-move po yung prosecution para i-amend yung information para i-correct po dun sa pangalan. So wala namang substantive rights na mapaprejudice doon. Kaya ang tinatawag namin dun sa klase ng amendment na yun ay formal amendment, hindi substantive amendment. Kasi pag substantive amendment, kailangan pasagutin yung akusado, yung nasasakdal, doon sa amendment na yon. So kung ano lang, a matter of amending lamang yung pangalan, dadagdag lang or babawasan, it's just a formal amendment. So wala namang magiging kaso yun. So yun yung sa no, yun yung sa ordinary courts na nangyayari. However, the clerk of court is still and also the legal team are also still researching on the legal effect, and of course we don't have all the information regarding the respondent Duterte, so tinitingnan pa namin kung ano yung formal name niya talaga na nakalagay.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Tonggol. Magandang hapon po.
Ay,
Magandang hapon din po. Ay,
pwede
RG.
mag-follow up lang ng question dyan, attorney.
Yes.
Required ba ang babae na gamitin ang married name ng kanyang, ang pangalan ng husband niya? And will that substantially alter her identity?
Tama ka dyan, no? RG, under the family code, niluwangan na yung rule na yon, no? Na kailangan yung choice na ng babae if either she will adopt the surname of the husband, it will totally drop the her surname, or will add the hyphen and then adopt both the surname of the her surname and the surname of the husband, or not adopt the surname of the husband at all by just adopting her own surname. So yun yung choices na pwedeng gamitin ng isang babae pag pinakasal siya under the family code.
So it's not
as
a matter
to-
of law, but a matter of preference.
Yes. So doon sa bagay na yun, no, bahala na yung babae mamili kung anong gusto niya. But as to the identity of the person, syempre minsan may kapareha or kailangan ng confirmation ng korte. So minsan tinatanong at kina-clarify rin ng korte yun. Kung yun ba yung married name, yun ba yung in-adapt niya ba yung married name niya o hindi. Sometimes the courts go into that detail.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hi, Attorney Angela po from BRTV. Magtatanong lang po, regarding the sequence of presentation ng evidence, magkakaroon po ba ng movement regarding that since merong reports na gusto mangyari is yung sunod agad yung defense pagdating doon sa Article 4 grave threats? May updates po ba doon?
Yeah, diyan may update tayo, no? Kala ko nga wala magtatanong sa inyo, eh, no? Nakakuha na po yung impeachment court today ng manifestation from the House Prosecution Panel. They are agreeing to the presentation of the alternating presentation of the prosecution and the defense on a article per article basis. Hindi po yung mauuna yung defense at tatapusin na lahat ng mga artikulo na nakasampa tapos dun pa lang yung depensa magpresenta. So agree daw sila na on article per article basis prosecution and then defense, and then we move on to the next article after the presentation of the defense. However, as to the defense po, yung respondent, wala pa po tayong nare-receive na any formal manifestation regarding that matter. So, tomorrow, hindi pa natin alam if the presiding officer will already, kung wari, mag-agree yung depensa or yung respondent, we still don't know if the presiding officer will cancel tomorrow's hearing if they agree today about that kind of sequence. Kasi syempre, kung yun na yung magiging basehan o rule natin na pagpapresenta ng ebidensya, then yung hindi muna ipapresenta yung Article 1 sa next time na yung pag natapos na yung pagpresentation ng depensa o respondents sa Article 4.
So we can expect po na today po magkakaroon ng decision about that po.
Yes, hopefully kung mag-agree din yung respondent, then we will expect an order from the presiding officer either tomorrow or today to grant the said agreement and then either cancel tomorrow's presentation for Article 1 and then proceed with the presentation of Article 4 for the defense next week by Monday.
Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you po.
Mary Mon, your turn na po. Thank you.
Attorney, good afternoon po.
Good afternoon.
Balikan ko lang, Attorney, yung last time, hindi ko lang alam kung na-bring up na siya. Yung pinost po na video ni Senator Pia related po kay Prosecutor Chel Jokno. Though taken down na ito, pero may action pa po bang impeachment court related dito? Yung sa decorum ng senator judges?
As you know, pinaalalahanan tayo ni Senator Lacson, no? Senator Judge Lacson, that it is only the senator judges who can police each other regarding any violation of the rule, especially the Rule 18 no, ng Senate impeachment rules. So let's see tomorrow how the senator judges would consider the action of the fellow senator judge and kung may any party who will raise the matter also to the impeachment court's attention.
Okay po. And Attorney, balikan ko lang din sa sequence na lang po. Hindi normal lang po ba? Pwede bang ganun na kalagitnaan na dapat may gagawin ng presentation ng prosecution, magbabago bigla ng sequence?
Yeah, syempre sa trial court, sa ordinary courts natin, may nakalagay na sa rules of court yung presentation sequence namin. So alam na namin yon, and we are only trying usually one charge in a court. However, ito pong sui generis proceedings natin with the impeachment trial, the prosecution and the defense are trying several articles, several charges. So hindi siya normal kasi nga sui generis to. So yun yung binabalanse no ng ating presiding officer at saka ng impeachment court in trying to expedite the matter kasi may pros and cons nga. Alam naman ng both parties yan yung alternating at saka yung matatapusin muna yung buong ano. So it's up to the parties to see the pros and cons. If the pros will outweigh the cons, then they will agree. But if the cons for them, for their own theory of their case would outweigh the pros, then they will not agree on that. So as of now, may agreement yung prosecution, House Prosecution Panel with the presiding officer's suggestion. We will have to wait and see the agreement of the defense if they will agree to such a sequencing.
Okay po. And mas efficient po ba kaya siya on the part of the prosec and defense or kahit man lang sa impeachment, sa senator judges, na ganun yung magiging order alternating o mas mapapabilis din po ba nito yung trial calendar?
As I said, no, may pros and cons, no? Doon sa Article 1 kasi we are expecting under the pre-trial order and pre-trial brief, expecting 31 days yung Article 1 alone, no? And that might already, kung isa to sa mga pros, no, or cons, depende kung kaninong part ka, no? But as to the impeachment court, syempre, parang gusto rin makita ng senator judges the whole picture sa per article. Kaya isa rin yun sa kinonsidera ni presiding officer when he suggested that to the parties, kasi nga baka makalimutan na yung mga naunang article nung current na article na yon. And then when the defense time comes na sila naman yung magpe-present ng ebidensya, baka hindi na natin gaano makonect kasi nga medyo malayo na yung timeline na nangyari. So that's one of the considerations din. So yung ganito in terms of the time frame at saka yung number of days, wala naman change dun sa 90 days na ano na yon, kasi kung ano rin yung hiningi ng depensa na number of days for the presentation nila ng evidence nila for Article 4, yung pa rin naman yung ifa-follow eh. So hindi naman gagalaw significantly yung calendar ng impeachment court when it comes to the whole taking on the whole case.
Thank you, Attorney.
Hi, Attorney Hannah po, BNC.
Hi,
Attorney,
Hannah.
hihingi lang po ng update dun sa subpoena dun sa mga bank at saka sa AMLAC since July 30 po, I believe. May update na po ba?
Wala pa tayong naririnig, no, regarding that. So we have to wait by July 30 kung makaka-comply yung mga sinabpina na doon sa order ng korte na yon. So sa Thursday pa natin malalaman, no. If ever naman hindi sila makakomply, I'm sure their legal counsels, all the entities na sinampina would be able to file an explanation, no, at least why they were not able to comply with the subpoena. So yun yung titingnan ng korte kung acceptable or hindi. Kung hindi sila makakomply. Kung makakomply naman, then wala tayong problema.
In case po na hindi mag-comply sa subpoena, anong next po nun, Attorney? Can you walk us through it? Kailangan po bang mag-file uli ng isa pang subpoena para lang po ma-visualize namin yung proseso?
Yung gantong case-to-case basis kasi yan, depende dun sa rason, no? Kapag in a general context, again, as a court litigator, ang ginagawa ng korte dyan, kapag hindi naka-comply sa subpoena, the court will initially ask the process server kung na-receive ba o hindi. Isa yun sa mga importante, no? Pag na-receive naman ng party na sinasubpoena, then iko-considera ng korte yan kung meron bang sinabing rason ba't hindi naka-comply. So, kung minsan humihingi lang naman ng additional time, ng oras, ng resetting para maka-comply sila because may conflict of schedule, kung witness yun, or hindi pa nila nakokolate yung mga dokumento dahil masyadong marami, voluminous, so hingi sila ng extension. So, titingnan ng korte kung ano yung rason why there was no compliance with the subpoena despite the receipt. Now, kung chances naman na in a case na walang pasabi yung sinabpina kung bakit hindi sila nakapag-comply, then it is the lookout of either the party requesting subpoena to ask the court to issue a show cause order why the person subpoenaed shouldn't be cited in indirect contempt of the court. So upon that motion, the court will issue a show cause order and then sasagot naman yung sinampina kung anong rason niya bakit hindi siya nakapag-file ng kanyang pagsunod doon sa subpoena. So yun yung mga proseso na maaring mangyari. So kung ano yung tatahakin nitong ating sa impeachment court, hindi natin alam kasi we will only know that once na lumipas na yung July 30 at makita natin if there is compliance or non-compliance with the subpoena.
So far po, even the BIR commissioner, wala pa pong letter of na-receive sa impeachment court?
So far, wala pa
Explanation.
po. So far, wala
Okay.
pa po.
Thank you po.
Thanks, Hannah.
May mga magtatanong pa?
Ako po, may isang clarification lang. Attorney, sorry, Mary Mon Reyes po ulit. Pagka kunwari lang, wala talagang napadala, may reason, pero pagka may reason po ba, pwede pang pagbigyan naman ulit ng additional time?
Yes, usually the court is very liberal naman in its orders. No, kung justifiable naman yung reason, then pinagbibigyan naman yun. So marami sa mga experience ko in litigation talagang pumapayag naman. Wala namang kaso yun pag ganun. Basta
Okay
walang
po.
prejudice to the both parties.
Pero attorney, pag wala talagang naging compliance, lost cause na ba siya, yung mga pinapasapi ng document?
Mm, it is the lookout of the parties. Kunwari, dito sa kaso na to, it's the House Prosecution Panel who's requesting it, no? So they can be strategic and creative about their next steps regarding how they will ensure that the person being subpoenaed will be able to comply with the subpoena or pivot to another witness siguro or another document or another source of document para isubpoena. So marami namang strategy na pwedeng gawin for that. Pwede rin yun nga, sabi ko, pwede rin magpa-show cause sa korte. Isa yun sa mga strategy rin nung requesting party.
Okay po. Thank you po, attorney. Yun lang po sa akin.
Attorney, pahabol lang din po, clarification lang. Doon sa sequence of evidence presentation, pwede rin po bang ang isang effect noon ay pwedeng mapaaga po yung botohan? Let's say, nakapag-present na yung defense at gusto nang mag-rest ng case ang prosecution, pwede po bang mauwi na sa botohan yan?
Hindi po. Kasi under sa Senate impeachment rules natin, kailangan tapusin po lahat ng articles bago magkaroon ng voting on the final question. And then, only after the presentation of both parties are finished, dun lamang sila magbobotohan on an article per article basis.
Yes, sir. Thank you po.
Thank you po. Meron ba po?
Meron pa po magtatanong?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you na po.
Thank you po, attorney.
Thank you.
Salamat po, attorney.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you po.
Aga
Thank
gising.
you.